After a few days and about 450 miles and more stairs on the road than I can count, here's what I've learned living with a Cybertruck. It's definitely one of the most impressive vehicles I've ever driven, but there are some downsides that could be serious deal breakers. So if you're thinking about getting a Cybertruck, be sure to watch this video before dropping $80,000 to $100,000 on one. This video is my first impressions of the Cybertruck and what it's like to actually live with it. But first, let's start with a couple of things that I really love about the Cybertruck. Let's start with the build quality. In my opinion, this is the best build quality Tesla to date. The doors are solid and heavy and have a thunk to it. There are no misalignments, no panel gaps, and no squeaks and rattles while you're driving. One of the things that surprised me the most is just how solid the interior feels. In the previous two Model Ys I owned, they had more wind noise and more road noise than this Cybertruck. Especially when driving over rough pavement, you could really hear the wheels and the tires hitting that pavement. But in the Cybertruck, it's pretty much silent. No squeaks, no buzzes, no loose panels. Now combine that with a noticeably better insulation and you really feel the difference. The road and wind noise, which are usually noticeable in Teslas, are much more subdued here. It feels much closer to what you'd expect from a premium luxury SUV. And that's actually a positive shift because in the past, Tesla has had some quality control issues with panel gaps and the good enough build quality they pass. But with a Cybertruck, it truly feels like they've stepped up their game, almost like this is their first vehicle that they're taking build quality seriously right from the start. The next thing is acceleration. Despite it being nearly 7,000 pounds, this thing can pull. My all-wheel drive version goes 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, while the Cyberbeast tri-motor goes 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds. You have instant torque just like every other Tesla at the push of a pedal, and you just pull. The all-wheel drive system has secure grip on wet roads, snow, and muddy conditions, but honestly, it feels unnatural to go this fast and this quick in something shaped like a tank. The next positive I want to talk about is steer-by-wire. It eliminates the mechanical steering column, so everything is electronic. At low speeds, the steering ratio is super light, so you get light turns and it's easy parking. And at high speeds, the ratio stiffens for stability. So it makes this truck feel like a mid-sized SUV in traffic and not a massive pickup truck. There is a slight learning curve, I have to say. It's a little bit twitchy at first if you've never driven steer-by-wire, but for most drivers, you adjust quickly. Honestly, after the first or even the second drive, you'll get pretty used to it, and then after that, it just becomes natural. On top of that, the Cybertruck also has four-wheel steering, or rear-wheel steering as you may have heard, and this gives the Cybertruck a tighter turning radius than the Model S. At low speeds, the rear wheels rotate opposite to the front wheels, enabling tighter maneuvering around parking lots, doing U-turns, or even on a job site. At high speeds, the front and rear wheels turn in sync, allowing you to glide between lanes. So this translates into increased stability and reduces body roll that typically causes passenger discomfort. After driving this for a few days and going back to a regular car, even the Model Y, I really have to say I love the steer-by-wire because you don't have to keep on doing hand-over-hand turns when you want to park, when you want to get out of a parking lot. It's very easy. You can easily do one-handed turns, and it makes the truck feel very nimble and agile, honestly. With this being about 18.5, I think 19 feet long, it does not feel like that, certainly in smaller parking lots, in stop-and-go traffic, doing turns. It is a great experience, and you have to try steer-by-wire if you're in doubt of a Cybertruck because of its weight and its size. And that brings me to my next point, unexpected surprises. These truly blew my mind away. I expected to hate it, but now, honestly, I don't see myself going back. And the first unexpected surprise was a gear selector. Just like a lot of other people, I was a little bit apprehensive with it being in the screen because I was used to my Model Y having a stock here to go into park, reverse, and neutral. But now it's really easy because the screen is massive and it's not that far off. I can just easily do it while holding the steering wheel. And also the next unexpected surprise with that is the turn signal. And just like the Model Y, it used to be a stock here, but now it's integrated into the steering wheel. And this was a little bit more getting used to because all traditional vehicles have the stock here where you could turn. But honestly, it is an unexpected surprise because of how easy it is to get used to it. And it's just instinctive to just have it on the steering wheel. And the final unexpected surprise also has to deal with the steering wheel. It is the windshield wiper control on the screen. It is a single giant blade that covers the windshield surprisingly well. It's a smooth motion and it's decently quiet. Now, before I get into the negatives, I want to briefly cover one more positive that I really love about the Cybertruck. It's the vault and the tonneau. You can open the tonneau by pressing this button here. You can also open it via the center screen or your app. And essentially, this is a lockable storage area for your Cybertruck. You can put anything you want in here and simply close the tonneau and it's secured. And it's called a vault. And also you can open up the trunk bed like so, the lift gate. And you have a lot of space here. A lot more than I initially anticipated, honestly. With a truck bed, you have two 120 volt outlets, plus a 240 volt outlet. You can charge another Tesla if you want, another EV, or it's perfect for the job sites where you require a lot of power. And that brings me to the frunk. I absolutely love the frunk. It's perfect for groceries, maybe a golf club set, some muddy things in here, things that you don't want to put inside your cabin, and if your truck bed is full, it's perfect for the frunk. And this is the first Tesla that comes with a powered frunk as well. So before, you would have to either modify it through a third party to have a powered frunk like a Model Y or Model 3, but now it's powered, motorized for the opening and closing it. So that is a definite plus that I love about the Cybertruck. All right, now it's time to talk about the bad and the ugly of the Cybertruck. The first one is the range. So Tesla advertises 325 miles for this all-wheel drive variant. But honestly, real world range with this, you get about 250 to 270 miles on a full charge. So in order to get 325 miles, you would have to have the efficiency of 378 watt hours per mile. And that's pretty hard to do, especially with how heavy this truck is, how you want to just accelerate it and just go. But I think it is doable if you certainly baby it. I don't think I'll be getting 325 miles on a single charge. So I'll definitely add to the road trips. You'll have to stop probably a couple times more to charge up if you're going across the country than going in another Tesla. And obviously cold weather and also towing will certainly put a toll on it as well. If you're towing, probably you'll get 200 miles on a full charge. And if it's cold weather, probably around that same range too. So those are some things to consider. 325 miles, I don't think you'll be getting that unless if you're driving by yourself, you're driving very calmly, you're not flooring it every single time you drive. Range extender, it has been scrapped, that Tesla plan. So there's that 500 mile Cybertruck. I don't know if we'll get that anytime soon. And the next biggest thing that I dislike about the Cybertruck is that there's no autopilot. So you can purchase full self-driving, and that's $8,000, a one-time purchase, or you could pay $100 a month. I don't want full self-driving because I enjoy driving myself, but sometimes I do like autopilot. So on my Model Y, I did use autopilot occasionally, sometimes for long stretches, but that did not require full self-driving, where you have to turn, you have to make complete stops, stop at a red light. Autopilot does pretty much a lot of that. As long as there's a car in front of you, it'll maintain the speed, it'll stop if the car stops in front of you. That's perfectly, suitable for me. I don't want full self-driving, and so that's kind of a bummer that there's no autopilot. You either have to pay the $8,000 or just drive normally. The next negative of the Cybertruck is the wireless charging pad. So it kind of overheats my phone quite frequently. I don't know if it's because it has high wattage and that creates a lot of heat, or if it's directly in the line of sight of the sun, unlike the other Teslas where it's under the screen. So it could be a combination of both, honestly. And I've resorted to just using the USB cables. I can just plug into my center armrest. I can plug in a standard phone brick to the center console or just use the USB cable. And that does it for me. It doesn't overheat. It's just pretty standard. And that's honestly what I've done with my Model Y as well. I generally I just avoid wireless charging when possible because of the excess heat it generates. It could be bad for the battery. So there's that. And so it's not that much of a negative for me, but it's a place to put your phone. So you put it here, but maybe you don't want to charge it. I guess you could put it upside down, or if your cup holders are empty, you could put it there. But if you have a drink in here, you can't really put your phone. The next place is obviously your pocket, or you can put it down here, but I don't want to put it down there. So yeah, that's another negative about the Cybertruck, the wireless charging pad. So the final negative after driving this for a couple days is the vault. So I know I said I loved it, but it's when the vault is closed, you don't have a direct line of sight with your rear view mirror. This is basically brick now that the vault is covered. So the solution to that Tesla has is in the center screen, you can see your rear view camera, like a little rear view mirror right here. So this is a great fix to it. It does take a little bit getting used to, honestly, but instead of looking up, you just simply look a little bit lower and you have your direct line of sight. Now, if you do have the vault open, You can see it through the rear view mirror, but it's honestly a very small opening, so I just leave the vault closed. It's better for efficiency. It's better for keeping your things secured so people don't steal it, or if it doesn't fly around. And yeah. And finally, not a negative, and just kind of like in between, not a negative, not a positive. You'll get a lot of public reactions. So you'll get a lot of people giving you thumbs down. You'll get a lot of people giving you a certain finger. But then again, on the contrary, there are a lot of people that will stop and take pictures. They'll record. They're like genuinely happy to see a Cybertruck. They'll give you thumbs up. So you kind of see a little bit of both. It's because it's the most polarizing vehicle that's out right now for obvious reasons earlier this year. But yeah, I don't mind it. I'm gonna get the windows tinted. One for obviously privacy and also heat rejection, since I'll be parking this outside. It won't be in a garage, so having windows tinted with ceramic tint is perfect. So I'll create a video on that. I'll be getting it tinted locally here. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Cybertruck. These are my first impressions. So this is where I stand with the Cybertruck right now on my first impressions after a couple of days. It's an absolute blast to drive, and it feels like the best Tesla they've ever built. But at the same time, some of those negatives could easily be deal breakers depending on how you plan to use it. I've still got a lot more time ahead with this truck, so stick around because I'll be doing a 1-week update and a 1,000 miles later deep dive to see if my opinions have changed or if some of these issues get worse. If you're considering dropping $80,000 to $100,000 on a Cybertruck, you're definitely going to want to stick around to see how it holds up past the honeymoon phase. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments what you think about the Cybertruck and what you want me to cover next with the Cybertruck. As always, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.